We're Team 8, aka Team Goldfish.
I'm Adam Michikawa.
I'm Taylor Patterson.
I'm Doug Kaplan.
Harry Rindler.
Lee Danishevsky.
And we're doing the Salton Sea.
Lee, did you know how the Salton Sea was formed?
I think so. Do you want to refresh my memory?
Well, back in 1815, people who were inhabiting the area decided to mine for salt there, and it became known as the Salton Sink.
Did that have anything to do with the Colorado River kind of flowing down and making some kind of river or lake?
Yeah, eventually the Colorado River overflowed into the Salton Sink and became the Salton Sea.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes I think to myself, what's the deal with the Salton Sea?
Well, Harry, this is your conscience speaking.
You talk?
I do. Let me tell you all about the Salton Sea and the issue at stake. There is a ton of agricultural runoff into the sea from farming from the Imperial and Coachella Valley area. This is caused from the irrigation and flooding practices performed by these farmers, which is causing high levels of salinity and selenium in the sea.
Have you seen Adam? Adam, do you know about the salinity and selenium issues affecting the Salton Sea?
Actually, Harry, I do. Salt and selenium is just the first issue at hand. See on the left here, the Salton Sea has, it's about the same salt levels as the ocean.
Right.
But due to the new agricultural practices and runoffs, there is now about 25% more salt than in the ocean.
Oh my gosh, that's a whole lot of salt. Lee, I was just talking to Adam about the Salton Sea and I learned so much more.
Well, Harry, I've actually been kind of researching the selenium in the soil about the Salton Sea and stuff. And what I've learned is the selenium is actually very highly mobile in these really arid regions, especially in these alkaline soils. And basically what happens is when the farmer irrigates the land, he kind of modifies the selenium, which basically, as you can see here, the selenium rises to the top. And then the problem with that is there's this huge runoff that leads to the Salton Sea, which results in about 50 pounds of selenium going into the Salton Sea.
But what's the big deal about that?
Harry, dead fish.
Doug, I was just talking with Lee and Adam about the Salton Sea, and I learned so much about the salinity and selenium issues, but I was just wondering, who does that really affect and how?
Well, Harry, my boy, the third parties affected by the Salton Sea situation are federal and state government. The Fish, Game, and Wildlife Department of California is greatly affected. They have to spend so much money per year, and that is part of your tax dollars. The federal government also spends a lot of money. Resort towns and local communities are also greatly affected. People come from miles around just to boat, swim, and fish on the Salton Sea, but now they can no longer do that. Local fishermen are also affected. They can no longer fish, and that's their livelihood, or it was. Now they're all gone.
Harry's conscious here once again to recap what I've learned today about the Salton Sea. The issue at stake is the agricultural runoff from farmers in the Imperial and Coachella valleys. By their irrigation practices, these are causing high levels of salt and selenium to be filtered back into the sea. This is causing fish to die off at rapid rates. The fertilizer that is also run off is causing algae blooms in the sea, which removes oxygen from the water, thus suffocating the fish that feeds the thousands of birds that are in the area. This is leading to a decline in the economic value of the area and major loss of tourism. So, all in all, the over-irrigation of farmers in the valley, plus the dead fish, is leading to a decrease in the economic area for the valley.
Find some peace.